Hallo und guten Morgen.
Morgen.
Wieder zurück in der Schallzentrale. Heute mit einer Vorstellung von einer Künstlerin von Randale Records, der Jenny Wu. Das haben wir jetzt.
Da bist du auch live zugeschaltet, oder?
Genau, das haben wir jetzt manchmal vor. Also ein bisschen was Spezielles heute. Wir wollen immer mal wieder im Rahmen der News einen Künstler von Randale vorstellen. Oder vielleicht habt ihr ja auch Lust, ihr da draußen, und schickt uns einen Videogruß.
Das wäre witzig.
Was auch immer. Auf jeden Fall dauert es ein bisschen heute. Vielleicht habt ihr ein bisschen Zeit, setzt euch auf das Sofa, trinkt ein Bier dazu und viel Spaß. Ab geht's, bis bald. Tschüss!
Hallo, ich bin Jenny Wu aus Kanada und ich bin sehr glücklich to have the opportunity to be a part of the Randale Records news channel. So as you can see, I've put my banner on backwards so I can project movies during this quarantine period, and there are a million other uses for banners that you wouldn't expect. In other news, I would like to talk to you about my newest release, which is called Tear Down Walls. This is an album that I released recently on Randale Records, and I think that it's one of the best releases that I've ever done, simply because it took me 6 years to put together from the beginning until the end. And actually, you could say it even took me 10 years because the album was conceived to celebrate the 10 years of this acoustic project. And inside the album, there's actually a lot of different features, which I wanted to talk to you about today. Why did I choose Tear Down Walls? Well, I think that especially in this world climate where people are building walls to keep people out, it's a really strange reality because we should have learned a lot from history about what walls do to divide people. And in relation to that, a lot of my project has been traveling around the world, playing shows, and my music has been, for me, a way to break down boundaries and to cross borders, to meet new people who are all a part of the same subculture. So I called the album Tear Down Walls, and it also has a personal element as well, which is about overcoming your own personal limitations, which has been a huge part of this project for myself. So the album is a gatefold vinyl. Ooh. And inside you'll find 2 different LPs. So on this side you'll have the album. This is the first one.
Oh ja, das Problem kenne ich mit dem
Dreams
Rausnehmen.
Don't Die. And this is a completely acoustic version of the album. And on the other side you'll find the Tear Down Walls album, which is the electric version of the album. And when I say version, I don't mean that they're the same songs done in 2 different styles. They're actually 2 completely different albums. And the songs explore a lot of the themes of overcoming your own personal limitations, as well as world travel, and what it means to be a part of a subculture that is fundamentally a subculture, as in against the mainstream and apart from the mainstream, and how that unifies us. So there's 14 tracks on each album, which makes it a total of 28 songs. And you can see that inside we have a picture of me. It's kind of embarrassing. But from the year I started the project in 2007, and when the album was released in 2018. So it's a little bit of a family photo book for me. Inside the album you're also going to find this is a DVD movie, and it took a lot of hours of my life actually. We took 800 hours of footage and compressed it into a 48-minute movie. And the movie is about why I started the Acoustic Boy project, which was a lot about overcoming my own personal fears and insecurities, and blending folk music, which is music that was written for the people, by the people, in response to a lot of the commercial music that was happening at the time, as well as punk music, which is music for the people, by the people, and how to deconstruct punk in a way that was meaningful and significant, to have the lyrics and the melodies appear more into the sound, and also to make it more human, to make this project about one protagonist, a girl who's looking past her own fears and trying to create something and be a part of something bigger than herself. So you have two parts of the documentary, Dreams Don't Die, which is about the evolution of this project, as well as Tear Down Walls, which covers footage of me touring in 55 different countries around the world and what that meant for me, as well as the similarities and differences I saw across the global punk scene. On this, you'll also find 22 different music videos that go with the album. So as you can imagine, it was like a significant amount of work compiling all of this stuff. But I do hope you will enjoy it. And you can also find a very interesting interview by Diana Schuller, the chef of Randale Records, and the interview section of the DVD, where she talks a lot about the origins of her label, why she decided to collaborate with me, and also the dynamics of sexism in the music industry from her perspective. And lastly, inside the album, you'll find an actual book, which I wrote to accompany the album and to explain some of the themes and ideas I was trying to portray in it. So the huge theme of this project, as well as the album, is tear down walls, build empires, and honor your dreams. And of course, I'm not talking about the Ottoman Empire. I think that each of us has our own mission in life, and our own empire is the world that we build inside of ourselves and the community that we build around us. So tear down walls, go past beyond what you thought you were capable of, build what you always wanted to create, and in that way you'll honor your dreams. And this was a project of both becoming and being at the same time. By making all of this, I was building my empire and believing in it. So inside the photo book, you'll find some articles that I wrote about what the skinhead means to me and the evolution of the skinhead scene from old to new generation, euch, as well as there are several points about what I think women's role is in the skinhead scene, as well as the personal experiences I've had traveling around the world as a solo female artist, and some of the adventures that I've encountered. This is also an article that I wrote about what I believe the role of feminism and women is in the skinhead scene, and how important it is to defend women as it is to fight racism, because one is a logical extension of the other. We're all human beings. We've got power. Additionally, you'll find an article that I wrote from my own personal experiences dealing with haters, because, well, if you know me, you know that I've got a lot of them. And I wrote this kind of as a cathartic experience for myself, but also to maybe help people who've been in the same situation or who are afraid of pursuing what they want because they're afraid of the criticism. And I think that a lot of what I've experienced could hopefully help other people who are going through the same thing. And there's a lot of points I made in the article about why it is that we get criticism and the difference between constructive and destructive criticism, and how to use all of these experiences to actually build yourself up into a better version of what you wanted to be. The book continues with a lot more dialogue on what the values of the skinhead scene are in relation to the album and my music, as well as you'll see all of the lyrics for the songs in the end of the booklet. I just wanted to mention as well that this album comes available in CD form, which also includes the DVD as well as a lyrical booklet, but in order to get this full coffee table size book, you need to invest in the vinyl. And lastly, just as a word for myself, I wanted to mention that all of these proceeds that I would earn from the album are going to a girls' rock camp in Canada, which is a foundation that supports women in vulnerable situations who want to pick up an instrument and learn how to play. Because I believe that if you want to put something out into the world, you should stand behind it 100%. and that doesn't mean just making art, it means making something happen beyond it. So that's just all of the proceeds that I would earn as an artist, but of course, you still have to buy the album for the record label. So, that's it for my presentation on this Randale news channel. It's a pleasure to connect with you guys at a distance. I really miss being on the road, and I really miss seeing you guys at the Gastbeitrag, but hopefully we'll be seeing you later this year for the new and improved and belated version of the Randale meeting.